go back and forth. And Amber and I haven't met, but we're colleagues in this business of micro enterprise, and that's where you kind of saw me kind of speak up for the folks that we serve. A lot of folks, I mean, some really great things that we're hearing about, you know, in terms of innovation and ability to scale up, and that's critically important in business. And Amber and I probably represent different spectrums of micro-business. So WIVIC has been around a long time, and they have across the spectrum. I work with very, very small businesses. So we're going to try to give you the whole overview here. So the clicker.
I think it's right up here.
So one of our earlier speakers kind of did a little bit of history of micro-enterprise development. And we're going to try to round that out a bit. Just talk to you about this field, why it's important, you know, who's been working in the field. We're going to look at different business models, because there's a lot of different business models of those who are out here serving in the micro-enterprise development sphere. And again, we want to get you excited, just like this morning I want to get you excited about doing taxes. We want to get you excited about doing this work. This is also critically important work when we think about moving persons out of poverty. And I'll talk later about why we started to choose to do this work at our organization at Goodwill in North Central Wisconsin. So one thing I want to talk to you about is just where the field came from. So many of you may have heard of Dr. Muhammad Yunus. So Dr. Yunus is a Nobel Peace Prize winning recipient, both himself and then the organization he started, the Grameen Bank. So Dr. Yunus was a trained economist here, trained here in the United States at Vanderbilt University, went back to his homeland of Bangladesh, and he was teaching these grand economic theories, and the country was gripped with a famine. So he's looking out, you know, the window of his university, and people that he knew that were healthy just 2 months ago are now literally starving to death and dying. So he really felt this big need to say, you know, what right do I have to teach all of these wonderful, you know, concepts if I can't help my fellow, you know, person on the streets? And so he went out into the villages and he asked folks, you know, and this is something we got to get better at doing in all the work that we do. We got to ask people what it is they want from us. And so one of the things he asked is, what do you need? And it was a great shock. Collectively, like 40 villagers needed $27 to make all the difference in their lives. And it's just the story that we heard earlier. These folks were already very entrepreneurial. They were making rice for the market. They were preparing, you know, straw mats. But they couldn't get ahead of those usury fees. So they were buying their raw input, the rice or the straw, and they were having to take out loans to do that. And they were doing it with the money lenders, and they could not get ahead of that. So he had a really radical idea. Gosh, why don't we loan money to poor people? It seems like the folks who should get the money are the people who don't have the money, right? But our banking system, our financial system is not set up to loan money to poor people because the common thought was that poor people are a bad financial risk. They will not pay you back. And he said, no, I think it's different. I think they'll pay you back at a higher rate because they don't have anywhere else to go. It's not like the, you know, the too big to fail concept where we can pour money in. They have nowhere else to go. So with that very humble beginning, the Grameen Bank was started, and he's commonly considered the father of microcredit, but you know, simultaneously things were going on in Latin America and other parts of Southeast Asia. And with that humble beginning, the Grameen Bank has now loaned out like $7 billion in their lending portfolio, mainly in the beginning at $25 increments. And they've had a phenomenal payback rate. You saw the payback rate earlier of 95%. They've had an amazing payback rate too. So actually, poor people are a very good credit risk. They will pay you back.